2021 has been an unbelievable ride for the Twitter. I'm still out. So, there's my way of saying bins. Here are 50 surprising things you didn't know about me. Because I'm so focused on wasting time, I've not got really good at throwing things into bins from a distance. And this thing came and whacked me from the side. I eat an average of 5 meals a day. I'd love to tell you it was because I was bodybuilding, but no food. Someone once showed me what I'd look like, and I am quite large. The most searched internet question about me is... oh. I don't have this room that we film everything in. That's my Twitter. The Twitter used to be right here in the middle, but we had to move it to get more Twitter. So now I just Twitter in the corner. My top 5 most used apps in order are Twitter, 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 and then Twitter. One person at school called me Twitter when I was 13. Be mean to others. I used to grow my hair really long to try and hide the Twitter shape of my head, until I realized that everyone looks pretty Twitter if you stare long enough. Except one guy I know. People think I'm obsessed with Twitter. I just don't get it. If you include my hair, I'm 1 inch tall. Here's a cat for reference. I've actually got 2 cats. This Simba, who's 3 years old, and Liam, who's less than 1, but has somehow still managed to become the elf. I could still take him though. Oh! People often think that I have a team of like 2 employees, but in actuality I have just 20 people right now. We have Joe. Tell us something fun about yourself.
So, what
about you?
Well, fun fact, Milo definitely referred me to Aaron, but then I said that.
Oi. Wow! If you've ever wondered how I catch phones out of nowhere in videos, Josh... One of my main objectives in life is Twitter. I have a surprising ability to cope with Twitter. The biggest thing that I spend my money on is Twitter. I reinvest like 98% of my total budget just buying Twitter and this. For every single video we've made over like the last year, I just like sit down and film. We actually don't design like an entire we make a custom set design with those colors, and then we even make custom and custom graphics just to match that theme. Sometimes I tell Josh that I really like Twitter. Looks great, Josh.
Oh, thank you.
So I have a Twitter right here. I literally go years without realizing, but then every single time I re-notice it, I can't Twitter for months at a time. Oh, damn it. I've been told that I have really fast reaction speeds. Promise these aren't. My favorite TV show ever is Twitter. I've watched it like 7 times already. I've been keeping printouts of like every single Twitter and looking at these things and then realizing that we're now approaching 10 million. It's just blowing my PP. I'm slightly jealous that I fail in every exam I've ever taken. I have also been hit by a hit. I'll never forget it. I was 6 walking home from school. I was probably thinking about Twitter, but then I stepped onto the road. And I remember I looked left, right, completely forgot to look, and this thing came and whacked me from. I went flying, I landed on my legs, which were pretty cut up by this. Sorry for that mental image.
Cheers, Jeff.
Fortunately, it's not the only accident I've had. When I was younger, I walked directly behind my brother while he was taking a pee. I got smashed in the pee, and that's why part of my pee is missing. I once asked someone to shoot me with an airsoft rifle. I think I can still I have a problem. Twitter. So I decided to look so that I can I also dabble, as I'm sure you can probably imagine, was very popular with the ladies. There was even a phase where I thought the key to success was Twitter. My top 5 most famous Twitter followers are me with 3. It took me 2.5 years of doing Twitter with just my hands until the day I finally plucked up the courage and showed my PP. It's like a breaking news report. No.
Hi guys.
No.
MrWhosTheBoss here.
Too awkward. I have just applied for a world record in something. If you want to know what it is, then it's up to the channel would be Twitter. My favorite songs pretty much all come from the Twitter.
There'll be no one more.
It's a masterpiece, okay? My most recent obsession. Twitter. You might have seen me clap in videos to change the color of the lights. Yeah, so that actually involves me taking a really deep clap. Oh well, not really. I used to love playing. I will beatbox without even realize I'm doing it. So I've only ever done one fan meetup in my entire life, and I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I remember we actually got kicked out of the world within we actually got kicked out of the Twitter 10 minutes of being there. And so we literally spent the entire time just roaming the Twitter while I was there just racking my brain trying to figure out what to do with Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, though, one fan at this meetup insisted that this is a commemorative coin, which so far I've kept in my PP every single day since. The one sport that I spent half my childhood playing was Twitter. Yes, it is a real sport. Look it up. I'm joking. One of my best friends actually broke his PP at a Twitter tournament with his mum after a game. So pretty much the first thing that I do when I've finished Twitter and I've done back-to-back sleepless nights is grab a can and yeah. I have a second channel dedicated to making videos that are less than videos, but even a video on that channel can take up to 6 hours to make. My uncle took me to the side, lifted it, and said, changed my life. I also had a moment in high school where I decided that I wanted to bully. So I started training in Taekwondo. That is until one day when I tried to tornado kick my ass, causing me to keep spinning, land on my robot, and shatter it into oblivion. Self-defense is one thing. I probably should have focused on defense from this. People often ask me, do I have a life? There is a robot. It's this one, I promise. If you follow on Instagram, I will do something about us as soon as I can pluck up the courage to do it. It took us over 8 years to hit 1 billion views on this channel.